My predictions for every WWE superstar in 2025. He will lose the tag titles at WrestleMania and retire close to SummerSlam and BV. Alex Shelley. I think he will most likely win the Raw tag titles or the SmackDown later in the year. Alexa Bliss. I think she will split from Charlotte Flair and win a SmackDown title US or the women's title. Apollo Crews. He will have 4 matches in 2025. Come back for part 2. My predictions for every WWE superstar in 2026. Part 2. Asuka will lose the tag titles at WrestleMania this year, but will beat whoever is the Women's Intercontinental Champion at August time. Austin Theory. He will betray the Vision, and him and Seth will have an alliance where he will win the Money in the Bank but not cash it in this year, leading to Seth thinking Austin will copy him, causing a friendly match for the Money in the Bank. B-Fab. I think she will have a title match against Jade Cargill for the title at Elimination Chamber. She loses and Jade's ceremony gets interrupted. Bayley. Her split personality will cause chaos as she will beat everyone in her sight, eventually setting her sights on the Women's Intercontinental Championship and wins. See ya in part 3. Judas Creed. I think he will return when Chad Gable comes back, but he won't do much. Maybe be in some Battle Royal. Candice LeRae. I think she will win a mid-card title this year, most likely the Women's United States Championship, and she will do some amazing matches with Chelsea Green. Carmelo Hayes. I think he will be champion most of the year and have some great matches in his reign. When he loses it, I think he may try and win it back or set his sights on something bigger. Chad Gable. I think he will come back this year and face off with Ludwig Kaiser and eventually win the Intercontinental Championship. Charlotte Flair. I think she will split from Alexa Bliss and will be in rivalries for the Women's Championship against Bianca Belair. My predictions for every WWE superstar in 2026, Part 5. Bron Breakker. I think he will win the World Heavyweight Championship from CM Punk at WrestleMania, and I think he will have a rivalry with Punk. And after matched against CM Punk, Dirty Dom, AJ Styles, and Sheamus, he will face Seth Rollins on Jan 2027. Chelsea Green. I think she will be the United States champion until SummerSlam, where she will lose it to Candice LeRae and will set her sights on Bianca Belair. Chris Sabin. I think he will win Tag Team Gold later in the year, rather Raw or SmackDown. CM Punk. I think he will lose the title at WrestleMania, but will go to SmackDown and try to beat the champion over there, and he will maybe win it later in the year. But I think he will have a lot of rivals in this year, and he will have a good year. My predictions for every WWE superstar in 2026. Brutal. I think he doesn't do much in 2026, but he might win back the Tag Team Championship in Triple AH in words of Ethan Page, and eventually loses it in August, maybe the SmackDown before SummerSlam. Bianca Belair. I think she will return at the Royal Rumble this year, but she won't win. Then at Elimination Chamber, she will confront Jade Cargill, eventually causing her to fight Jade at WrestleMania in a triple threat with the Elimination Chamber winner. And wins it, and eventually she fights people like Jade Cargill and Charlotte Flair Alexa Bliss in her title run. Bronson Reed. I think he will win the World Tag Team titles with Logan Paul in the year in a long reign, staying in the Vision. Big E. I don't think he returns in any way to the WWE. Brock Lesnar. I think it's his last year and gets retired by Gunther and has a short title run. Judas Creed. I think he will return when Chad Gable comes back, but he won't do much. Maybe be in some Battle Royal. Candice LeRae. I think she will win a mid-card title this year, most likely the Women's United States Championship, and she will do some amazing matches with Chelsea Green. Carmelo Hayes. I think he will be champion most of the year and have some great matches in his reign. When he loses it, I think he may try and win it back or set his sights on something bigger. Chad Gable. I think he will come back this year and face off with Ludwig Kaiser and eventually win the Intercontinental Championship. Charlotte Flair. I think she will split from Alexa Bliss and will be in rivalries for the Women's Championship against Bianca Belair. My predictions for every WWE superstar in 2026, Part 5. Bron Breakker. I think he will win the World Heavyweight Championship from CM Punk at WrestleMania, and I think he will have a rivalry with Punk. And after matched against CM Punk, Dirty Dom, AJ Styles, and Sheamus, he will face Seth Rollins on Jan 2027. Chelsea Green. I think she will be the United States champion until SummerSlam, where she will lose it to Candice LeRae and will set her sights on Bianca Belair. Chris Sabin. I think he will win Tag Team Gold later in the year, rather Raw or SmackDown. CM Punk. I think he will lose the title at WrestleMania, but will go to SmackDown and try to beat the champion over there, and he will maybe win it later in the year. But I think he will have a lot of rivals in this year, and he will have a good year. My predictions for every WWE superstar in 2026, because it is now 2026, Part 6. Cody Rhodes. I think he will lose the title to Drew McIntyre and probably go to Raw and feud with Bron Breakker and CM Punk. I hope we do get heel Cody, but it might not happen as there are loads of heels. Cruz del Toro. I don't think he does a lot in 2025, maybe go back to NXT to try and get them titles. I don't really know, but I don't want them to waste him. Becky Lynch. I think she will lose to Maxine Dupree and will win her rivalry with AJ Lee because I don't see her losing 0-3. Damian Priest. I think he finishes his rivalry with Aleister Black and wins the United States Championship later in the year. My predictions for every WWE superstar in 2026, Part 7. AJ Lee. I think she loses her rivalry with Becky Lynch before eventually winning a mid-card championship. I do think she will have a okay year, but not every week appearances. Aleister Black. I think he will maybe even win the WWE Championship this year. I see big things for him this year. Axiom. I think he will win the tag team titles. It has to happen. This has to be the year. Angelo Dawkins. I think he will split from Montez Ford and eventually be the babyface. Dominic Mysterio. I think he will win the Money in the Bank if Austin Theory docent, but he will most likely cash in on the World Heavyweight Champion. Bron Breakker wins it or not. My prediction for every WWE superstar in 2026, Part 8. Dragon Lee. I think he will win a singles gold in AAA because he did have a great 2025, and I would love to see him continue his greatness. Drew McIntyre. I think he will beat Cody Rhodes in the 3 stages of Hell match and eventually having a lengthy title run facing people like Aleister Black, Randy Orton, Damian Priest, Ilya Dragunov. I think El Grande Americano will eventually beat Dom Mysterio for the AAA mega title. It just makes sense. For Pretty Deadly, I think we will finally get Pretty Deadly, the musical. I think Rowan will finally get a televised singles match in 2026, not just helping the Wyatt Six cheat. I think Eric will only pick up 6 wins in 2026. Finn Balor. I think he will get a push and win the IC title before Money in the Bank. My predictions for every WWE superstar in 2026, Part 9. I think she will have a good United States title run, and when she loses it, she goes to the main event. Grayson Waller. I think he stays with the New Day, but he will face off against Austin Theory in a match for their factions teams. Gunther. I think he will be undefeated in 2026, retiring people like Brock Lesnar, AJ Styles, but please not Rey Mysterio, leave that to Dom. I think Ilya Dragunov goes up to the main event scene facing Drew McIntyre. They would be such great matches. My predictions for every WWE superstar in 2026, Part 10. Ivar. Same with Eric. I think he only picks up 6 wins in 2026. Ivy Nile. I think she docent win any titles, but I think she will have a good run in the Royal Rumble and Elimination Chamber. Io Sky. I think she is going to win a world title and also win the women's tag team titles tonight. I think she will have a good 2026. Jacob Fatu. I think he returns and has a good year. B maybe wins the U.S. title and challenges Drew McIntyre. Jade Cagel. I think she loses the title at WrestleMania and maybe wins the U.S. title later in the year. JC Mateo. I think he wins the tag team titles or something, I don't know. JD McDonough. I think when he returns the Judgment Day is over and he will find singles greatness, maybe he wins the... My predictions for every WWE superstar in 2026, Part 11. Jey Uso. I don't think he will turn heel and be tag team champions for a while before losing it to the Lucha Brothers. I think the same for Jimmy, but when he loses, he goes absent to spend time with his newborn. I don't think anyone in the LWO do anything. With Joe Gacy think the same as Dexter Lumis, he will win the titles back from the MFTS. Johnny Gargano. I think he will be a singles star in 2026. and maybe even winning some singles gold in whatever it is. Julius Creed. I think he returns to tag team action when Chad Gable returns. Kairi Sane. I think she finally stands up to Asuka and has a rivalry where she is a babyface. I think Kevin Owens' Docent return in early 2026. Kiana James. I think she splits from Julia and goes into the U.S. title scene. Kofi Kingston wins Tag Team Gold in 2026. My predictions for every WWE superstar in 2026 Part 12. I think LA Knight will win Singles Gold. In 2026, I hope it is the world title. I think Liv Morgan wins the Women's Royale Rumble match and wins the Women's World title at WrestleMania. Maybe from Raquel if Stephanie Vaquer vacates. I think with Logan, he will have a long tag team title reign with Bronson Reed. With him, I think he Docent appear in WWE in 2026. I think Lyra Valkyria wins gold in 2026, but I don't know which one. Maybe the IC later in the year. I think Maxine Dupri will win back the Women's Intercontinental Championship. When Machine returns, I think she will win a NXT Championship. I think The Miz finally wins a singles match. Montez Ford is the heel in the street, profits split. Naomi will not be on WWE in 2026. Natalya will bring out her low-key legend Prosoma. My predictions for every WWE superstar in 2026, Part 13. Nathan Frasher. Same as Axiom, I think he wins the tag team titles this year and the SmackDown ones. I think Nia Jax wins the women's tag team titles. I think Nikki Bella wins the Women's United States Championship. I think Nikki Cross will only have mixed tag team matches. I think Omos spends all of his time in AAA being a bodyguard. I think the maximum wins Otis will get is 2. Penta will finally win the World Tag Team titles with Rey Fenix. R-Truth will win a championship in 2026, most likely Speed or NXT Tag Team. Randy Orton. I think he will win the Undisputed Championship and turn heel. I think Raquel Rodriguez wins the Women's World title at the Royale Rumble before losing to Liv at WrestleMania. Rey Fenix. Same as Penta, he will win the World Tag Team titles. Rey Mysterio will have a title match against Dom. Rhea Ripley turns on Io Sky, causing a massive rivalry between them where Rhea wins. My predictions for every WWE superstar in 2026, Part 14. I think Roman Reigns will win the Elimination Chamber. Lash Legend, she will win the Women's Tag Team titles. Roxanne Perez will be the Iron Woman in the Royal Rumble Elimination Chamber and will get to the final of Queen of the Ring. I think Rusev gets a PLE match this year, I hope. I think Sami Zayn will end the year getting a title shot at Jan 2027. I think Stephanie Vaquer will lose her title to Stephanie and win the Evolution Battle Royal again. I think Santos Escobar comes back with a new faction. Seth Rollins will win the King of the Ring tournament, beating Bronson Reed in the final. Sheamus finally wins the Intercontinental title. Solo Sikoa beats Uncle Howdy at Elimination Chamber. Tala Toma. I think he wins the Andre the Giant Battle Royale. Toma Tonga will win a singles title in 2026. Tiffany Stratton will win the Women's Elimination Chamber match. Tongaloa will win the tag titles. Uncle Howdy will get a good WrestleMania entrance. Xavier Woods wins Tag Team Gold in 2026. Zelina Vega has less than 15 matches. Zoe Stark retunes from that gross injury.